show everybody what an inside a GOLFTEC lesson kind of looks and feels like. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Check out this swing. So I know you're a good player. I know that you're working on things in your swing, so we'll jump right into it. Sometimes it looks like today anyway, when you do hit a bad shot, normally you tell me they push all the time, or you're doing something a little different today. Which one do you think it is?
I think I'm just being different
Okay.
today.
All right, that makes sense. All right, so when you hit this shot, you can see the data of the club and ball interaction here. Your horizontal swing path, or the path of your club on this swing, is 1 to the right, 1 degree and out. But your face to the target is actually aimed 3 degrees to the left. Now I can't really show that up here, but if this is the target line and the hitting screen of 0, your club face is aimed a little bit over here. And then that's how the shots pull and draw. Does that make sense? Yeah. You don't do that all the time. It sounds like you don't do it outside, but in here, that's what you've been doing today. But what you've been practicing in your swing was something about the inclination to the ground that you're in. So this angle of the blue arrow I'm drawing here is pretty vertical, and I'll show you that in a second here as a comparison. And your favorite move ever, your right heel leaving the ground and getting pretty high up into the air. We'll zoom right in there so everybody can see that. So you've got that pretty high off the ground at this point in time. Did I about cover that okay?
Yep, that's pretty typical.
You sound pretty frustrated by that, don't you?
I've only done that my entire life.
Well then, for fun, let's just stop doing that now.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds fun.
I know you can do it, and we'll practice how that works. But so much of your swing is really good, and the follow through in particular, when you get to right about here where your right arm's 45 degrees to the ground, the height of your hips off the turf is really good. The backward bending that you have with your shoulders and the middle of your back, like everything from here up, you stretch that backwards really nice. Your arms are really straight. That's probably the straightest your lead elbow's been the entire swing. It's nice. You should keep doing that. So let's practice your foot. Now for an example, I like to pull up someone who does this maybe better than you do. So let's start with probably just the foot would be an easy explanation. We'll just go up to the top. This is Corey Connors, Ping representative, and I know that's your brand of clubs you're playing. So right about here when the shaft's 45 degrees to the ground, you can see the club head up here just past your head. Let me zoom out. This is where your right heel's pretty high off the ground. Right there would be a great time for you still to be pushing both of your feet down before you start to jump. Like that jumping and extending your knees, that's good. It's just when you do it. You do it too soon. Corey's a really good example of the pattern most PGA Tour players have. So every frame I'm clicking on the way down here, he's keeping his foot on the ground. And then it's right about in here where he's going to try to start to bend himself backwards more and straighten himself up aggressively. So you can tell the ball is long gone in this frame, and his right heel is still only a few inches off the ground. So for you, that'd be a great way to practice, as opposed to the same point in time with your swing, and we can see the entire bottom of your shoe even. So let's practice that and how to stay inclined to the ground. This is the part where sometimes you struggle with hitting the turf in the right spot because of the inclination to the ground that you have is a little bit more vertical than his is. Okay. Sound good? Okay. So let's do the foot. An easy way for you to practice would be to use a club on the ground. I'll use this rather lofted one. And whatever you would practice in a lesson, it's really going to be based upon what you're trying to do, where you want to hit a ball versus where you do now, and ways to fix that. So you have sort of a unique problem of straightening your leg too soon, flexing your knee in too much. So here's how we'll help this one. So I've got a really high lofted club. This one's like a 9-iron. And she's standing on this, and you want to feel like you're squishing the foam out of your cool Nike shoes here. Push down real hard, and throughout the entire swing you're going to try to keep the angle of the shaft pretty constant. So even after the ball's gone, you don't want to change the angle. The way that you would change the angle is flex your knee, lift your heel up, and pretty soon the shaft's on the ground. Yep. Okay, so set up to that one. The way I'd tell you to feel that even more thoroughly than what I just described is push down into your heel, where it feels like even after the ball's gone, instead of pushing your weight towards your toes, you're going to feel like it's still all the way back into your heel.
Okay.
And that'll require you to feel more bent forward, like this, Haley, through the shot, pushing down into your right heel and bent forward.
Okay.
So just punch this one out there. It's like a 50% type of speed swing. Doesn't need to be overly hard. The idea is just to change that form of your knee and your ankle. Good. So let's check out how that one could be different. How odd did that feel? 1 to 10?
10.
A million? Yeah, right? Totally understand. So here's, we'll do the downswing of a previous swing. Then I've got a cool feature in here to show. So when your lead arm's parallel to the ground, your right heel's even coming off the turf in this one.
Mm-hmm.
In the swing you just made on the left, your heel's still on the turf, shaft's parallel to the ground, you still have your heel on the ground, and you'll notice how different that really looks. You just haven't started to extend yet. And extending is just where you would take all of everything that's bent forward, like your knees and your pelvis and your ankles even, and you start to extend all of those back. That helps you just move the end of the grip really fast as you hit a ball. So this is the point in time now where you need to start jumping off the ground and straighten your ankles. So that's a tough one for you to learn. But we'll keep going through. You still have your foot on the ground. Your swing direction's still 0. And although I wouldn't tell you to hit that way, that is just a different way to change the motor program, which is really just your swing through the shot. I've got another cool way to show this, because I think it's just an interesting story, and this is a unique way to look at it. So in this picture over here, I've got 2 swings overlaid on top of one another. One is where your ankle's off the ground quite a bit, and then one is the other practice swing that we just had. So I'm going to zoom in real tight on this one, and we'll start analyzing this, the differences here. So both backswings are about the same, and now you can start to see in the overlay how much more one of your right ankle stays down in that exercise we just did. Looks just firmly planted on the ground, and you've changed how much your ankle is turning and flexing by quite a bit, because here is the heel of your shoe. The normal swing right here, and then you can see the one that's pinching that club down on the ground. So it's quite a bit different. And I like that view because it's just something cool that is pretty unique to how we teach golf in here. Can't really get that at very many places, but it does make it very obvious what's changing in there. The amount you're turning your hips, the amount that you're flexing your knee towards the ball. So that's how we're going to hit. And we're going to do a few more like that. And then we'll take the club away and have you go a little bit faster.
Okay.
Sounds easy, right?
Deal.
Okay. Let's do that one again. You can set up to this ball. I'll do all the hard work. You just have to swing. Good job. Set up to that one. Same thing. Don't do anything different on this one. Just going to hit it and take a look at the swing and then see how you did.
A full swing?
No, I would do the same thing. That same half-ish swing. Go a little further if you think you're that good at this already.
Okay.
Ready. Okay, and then we'll quickly check your work, which I think is the value of video on these. Doesn't take too long to recognize is that better or not, and then you can just go on to the next one, which leads to some effective and some efficient types of lessons. So that's pretty good. Ideally, you're starting to change how your swing is. You notice in that front view how your right foot is really just rolled in like this, and the back of your shoe's visible. That's how a lot of really good players who draw hit, because it keeps you from turning your hips too much and extending them backwards too soon.
Including me, apparently.
Exactly, exactly. So now your inclination to the ground is much more. You're more bent forward in that one. Your hips aren't as turned, and your knee is much more extended. 19 degrees. We looked at that swing earlier, and it was 35 degrees flexed at that point in time when you hit the ball. So that's starting to look pretty good. Let's just do a couple more like that, and then we are going to smash one out there.
Okay.
Seem easy? Any questions?
Easy enough.
Okay. It's easy. You haven't had to go very fast yet. Okay. Squeeze that down. All right, you can go a little harder if you want. I still think that feel for you, because it's working fine on those short ones, is hit this thing.
Okay.
But you've got to feel like you're pushing down into your heel.
Okay.
Like I just did. Hang on just a second. All right. Smash it out there just like that last one. That was a really nice shot. Nice. Okay. So the shaft falling out is fine. That's as you go quicker, you're going to push off the ground more, bend yourself backward quicker. You need more speed. But it's just trying to make that come out later and later and later. Nice. That was really good. So let's compare that one to one of your earlier ones. Just grabbing an almost random swing from when you were warming up. Good. So when the shaft's parallel to the ground in both of these pictures, starting to notice a difference in your form.
Yeah.
For sure. And your trail knee is now 16 degrees straighter than it was. And then you just want to keep feeling like that's getting closer to 0. Just how you're standing right now. Nice hit on the left. And that would be awesome with your foot. That's a little higher off the ground than Corey had it, but not much. Really good. Okay. Well, you want to try one without the training wheels on?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll leave that just sitting there. Thinking about if we need it again. I'd say on this one you're going to do a speed of 3/4 would be enough. You don't need to go full bore like you'd smash a 7-iron on the first one. And then we'll check it. If this one looks good, then we'll start going a little faster.
Okay.
75%, foot on the ground, right heel pushing into the turf. Nice. Be a good way to practice or warm up.
Okay.
So nice with your foot on the turf on that one. It's looking a little easier, not as awkward. Your swing direction is still 1 degree to the right. Your face was open 6 degrees on that one, so that'd be a bigger push and a cut. But both of those views are looking pretty strong. Just feels awkward, tricky. That's why you practice.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit this one. How hard was that one? How hard was that shot?
Like 75.
75? Anything over 75 is fine. Nice. So now we're almost to full. I don't think you'd hit your 7-iron much harder than that. And let's do another comp of just a swing from that side view angle. How strange did that feel? 1 to 10? 10 being I'd never want to do that again?
I would say it's about a 3. It's starting to feel a lot more natural.
Okay. So let's just watch your right foot. Even from here without zooming in, you've got quite a difference in the distance from your heel off the ground versus the one that you just rolled in on your own. You said that was down to a 3. I think where most people, wow, check out where your ankle and the bottom of your shoe is there, versus this one that just kept coming up just a little bit. It's looking more like that swing of Corey. So it feels strange making changes like this in any kind of environment, but the hardest part I think people have is the expectation of the shot. Like these have been pretty good that you've hit, but 1 or 2 of them weren't really as far as you would hit it. The curve wasn't quite right. When you're changing your swing, just to try to make these changes look different, you got to let go of where that thing's going. Keep looking at the pictures to coordinate your feel for what happened. And where the ball goes matters, but you've got to take 5, 10 swings where you let that variable kind of play out for a second, and then you've got to start hitting these, trying to get them on target and keep your foot on the ground. So
trust the process.
Yeah, that's definitely a super fair way to say it. There's a process to try to change your swing. If you jump out of that too aggressively, it's really hard to get better. That's why you need to be able to quickly look at your swing, compare it against what you want it to be, and do that quickly enough so that you're not wasting a half an hour of time going back and forth to a phone or looking at a computer screen. It's just right up here on the wall, and we've got it done pretty instantly. So we can get a lot done in a short time. Then everything that we've done has been up here, and it's part of our tech swing illustration, and I've been recording strategically a few different parts of it that you could go home and look at anytime, just from your iPhone or your mobile device, whatever it is.
Great. In
your Clubhouse account. So that's pretty much what I would say you need to do. So now your homework really is to hit enough shots like that on your own outside where the next time you come in, we're going to stare at that side view camera view on the left and have you hit the first shot where your foot's at least on the ground. Then we can worry about your swing direction and your face to the path, because it's hard for you to draw a ball now like this. Your swing direction is getting more to the left on all these hits, which is to be expected when you're changing your swing. Questions? Kind of make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, so what are you going to do the next time we practice?
I'm going to keep this heel down.
Yep, and the next time we hit right here, first shot's going to look like Corey Connors,
it's gonna look
right?
Like Corey better look out.
I'm nervous for Corey. Thanks for hanging out inside of a golf lesson with Haley and I.